Welcome back to the No Face Crypto channel. Where there's no face, there's no case. You feel me? Real quick, today I want to talk about something very important, but I'm going to let you guys watch this video first before I even speak on it. Who you will be listening to is Hyun Song Shin, Academic Advisor and Head of Research for the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements. Why is this important? The Bank of International Settlements, they have jurisdiction over 63 central banks. So once you understand that, you understand how big of a situation this is. Get right, get active, get your feet set, and understand the time we are living in. The only financial transition you will ever see in your lifetime is right now. So pay attention. In this video, directly from the Bank for International Settlements, they will be talking about the new financial system. As you can see here, they've already discussed stablecoins, regular money, congestion, aka the friction in the current system with SWIFT, crypto, how it will benefit, central bank money, aka CBDCs, and now new capabilities, which I will let him discuss. I'm sure all of you guys already know a lot of this, but it means a lot more coming from the horse itself. Remember, this organization has jurisdiction over 63 central banks. This is not a joke. So, lock in. Listen.
And needless to say, the central bank would be a very natural choice for this kind of role. Now, whatever the specific implementation is chosen, decentralization and new capabilities can be achieved with all the benefits that come from central bank money. And new capabilities may include, for instance, programmability, or the ability to make payments conditional on specific criteria being met. This can allow, for instance, for atomic settlement, whereby two legs of a transaction that are inseparable are executed together or not at all. Another capability is composability, or the capacity to combine several operations into one. And the image, as you see here, is that of money Legos that combine different operations into one block. The third capability is tokenization, or the creation of a digital representation of money or other assets to be traded on the DLT platform itself. This could allow banks to offer tokenized deposits, which could be used for conditional payments. So how would this work? The classical notion of settlement through the book entries of intermediaries can find new expression on these DLT platforms, where tokens are transferred in settlement rather than through book entries. So in this respect, the economics remain the same, but the technological medium progresses. In this way, wholesale CBDCs could support the settlement of the purchase of assets, for instance. So here, for example, the buyer of a house may wish to make a large payment, but a large payment to the seller of the house, but conditional on the title of the house being transferred. Now, from the seller's perspective, the seller wants to ensure that the title is transferred only on condition that the money is received. And the buyer and seller may do this with a tokenized deposit in a permissionless DLT system, together with a token that represents the house itself. In the background, the wholesale CBDC helps this transaction to settle. And those movements all occur in one bundle. Now, so far, I have described wholesale applications. In parallel with wholesale solutions, financial inclusion can be greatly enhanced in the retail domain through either retail CBDCs or through retail fast payment systems. both of which will allow for instant payments by households and businesses.
Alright guys, before I let him finish up what he is going to say here, and I'm also going to play the conclusion for you guys as well, because it is important. Conclusion is always important. Retail CBDCs, guys. This is exactly the wheelhouse of ZBCN and XRP. Alright? And when I said before in previous videos, and I will say this again, I do not take this lightly. Guys, when you have an opportunity to get cold storage and self-custody and be able to do your own DeFi and generate your own yield on your own digital assets, that is the opportunity and that is the road that you need to take, the road less traveled, okay? These people are going to make it so that institutions have control. I mean, if you gain control now, they can't get control over you. But I'm telling you right now, they're going to want your digital assets. They're going to want to control them. Everything's going to go completely digital. The one way you can gain control is cold storage and self-custody. But I'm going to let this guy finish up. A lot of good points here are being made.
Now, as we discuss in some detail in the chapter, retail CBDCs and retail fast payment systems actually bear a very strong family resemblance. Both rely on an open architecture together with application programming interfaces, or APIs, that ensure the interoperability of services provided by banks and non-bank PSPs. And
Guys, translation there is apps, ledgers, XRP ledger, and ZBCN cards, stuff like that, okay? When you're looking into these utility technologies and you hear keywords like this being spoken by people very high up within large institutions, you need to listen and you need to decode this stuff, okay? They are talking about assets just like ZBCN and XRP. But I digress.
interoperability ensures effective competition that lowers costs. The main difference between retail CBDCs and retail fast payment systems is that CBDCs are a direct claim on the central bank, whereas a fast payment system only gives users access to the liabilities of the payment service providers. Retail CBDCs and fast payment systems can sometimes drive dramatic progress in lowering the cost of payments and enhancing financial inclusion. For example, this is the case for Brazil. In Brazil, the PIX instant payment system was adopted by 2/3 of the adult population.
Brazil is a leading country in digital assets infrastructure.
And in terms of use, as you see here in the green line, PIX transactions have now surpassed credit and debit card transactions by volume. For merchants, accepting PIX payments costs only 22 basis points.
All right, you guys get the point. Faster, cheaper, better. I'm going to let him conclude this for you guys.
Now, these arrangements involve more than one central bank and therefore more than one currency. And this is why such arrangements are typically governed as DLT platforms. So this is a view of the canopy from above. And the BIS Innovation Hub has coordinated trials of several multi-CBDC platforms. And in a new report that was published at the same time as the annual economic report, it draws initial lessons on the design and implementation of these multi-CBDC platforms. The early trials open the prospect of examining richer ecosystems with a diverse range of private sector service providers. Of course, the full extent of possible innovations is difficult to foresee. But one thing is for sure, all of them will be supported by the tree, firmly rooted in the ultimate settlement on the
Alrighty, guys. So as you can hear there, this will all be controlled by the central banks. And when you have the Bank for International Settlements coming out and saying this, I mean, what else? I really want to know, guys, what else do you need to hear to believe? You know what I'm saying? Um, believe that there's an opportunity there and you can have control, cold storage, self-custody. Alrighty, because this guy is high up in the BIS and he's saying this stuff, and there's 22,000 views on a video from 3 years ago about how they're going to completely change our financial system. So if you are watching this video right now and you just hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, you are one of 22,000 people to know this information, most likely. Alrighty? This is directly from the horse's mouth. And there's not much else to say there. I mean, when this is coming directly from the horse himself, what are you going to say? What are you going to say when this happens and this all happens? Everything happens. It all blows up in front of you and you didn't buy. You didn't buy into utility coins. You didn't buy into any of that stuff. You didn't even think about it. Why? You don't even know. You yourself don't even know why you're not looking into this stuff. So the answers are right in front of you guys. And when he's talking about this stuff, I mean, let's just cover 3 of the things he talked about. He talked about retail CBDCs. ZBCN pays you out immediately in retail CBDCs. So we'll go there. That's one. That has to be interoperable. How do you have a system that's interoperable with blockchain technology? The XRP ledger. That's 2. XRP. Okay. Then you heard him talk about tokenizing real estate. That is Algorand. Right now, I can take my Algorand and go buy tokenized real estate. Right now. Okay. So all this stuff is happening. It is available to you right now. What are you going to do with this information? What are you going to do with it? All right, guys. I'm going to leave you guys with those thoughts. But there's really not much else to talk about. I mean, the Bank of International Settlements has this information out for you, and there's 22,000 views on a video from 3 years ago. And they are going to change our financial system. Nobody's going to know what's happening except for the ones that are tapped in. So if you guys are watching this, make sure you guys subscribe. We're giving away 50 XRP at 500 subscribers and 50 XRP at 100 subscribers. Make sure you guys subscribe right now. I will never shill a coin. Do not respond to the bots in my comment section. Alrighty? I'm the realest in the crypto game. Y'all get it right. Okay? No face, no case. I'm going to get out of here. I love y'all. Y'all have an amazing, beautiful day.